So in the previous video, we had implemented the logic for connecting to our MongoDB database, and we had also created two models, that is the user model and the password reset token model. Okay, so now in this video, we'll be creating the API to create a user. Okay, so first of all, I have to create one API folder inside the app folder. Okay, API folder inside the app folder. Now I have to start my development server using pnpm dev. Okay, now after starting my development server, what I will do is I will create another folder inside this API folder, that is sign up. Okay. Sign up slash route.js. Now in Next.js versions greater than 13, you need to use something called route handlers. Now previous versions of Next.js, if I'll show you in the pages router part, you don't have the support for this route headers. Okay, so you had the pages router. That means you can only create the APIs using the file names. But here we have route handlers and the page routers. Page routing and route handlers are two different things. Now, if I'll go here and go for routing, and you'll see here we'll get this route handlers. Okay, so now route handlers allow you to create custom request handlers for a given route using the web request and web response APIs. Now, if you'll go here and click on this, so it will redirect you to MDN docs. Okay, so these are the MDN docs about the web request and web response API. Okay, now if you go down, you can see the convention. Route handlers are defined in a route.js or TS file. Now we are using JavaScript inside the app directory. Okay, then route handlers can be nested anywhere inside the app directory, similar to page.js and layout.js. Okay, but a route.js file at the same route segment level as page.js means you cannot create route.js at the same in the same folder which contains the page.js. That may cause conflicts. Okay, now these are the following HTTP methods: get, post, put, patch, delete, head, and options. If an unsupported method is called, Next.js will return a 405 method not allowed response. Now, these are some of the extended interfaces that extend the request and the response API. Okay, now if I'll go here, you can see they have provided sample route.js. But what I will do is I will import two things. First of all, import connectdb. Okay, and then I'll import user model. I am importing these two things and export async function. Then comes the route method. We'll be using post method. Now request. Okay, with TypeScript you will have a bunch of suggestions if you're using the next request interface with the request. Okay, so now what can I do is I can fetch out the JSON response from the user. Okay, I can fetch out the JSON response from the user, or let us say we can also bring in the form data. Okay, so what I will do is I'll write a const underscore JSON data is equal to await request dot JSON. Now this is the way to bring in the JSON data from the user. Now if we'll see here, request body. Okay, now you can see it has been written here like font stress equals to await request.json. Now you can bring the JSON or data, or you can also pass in the form data from directly from the form. Okay, so then we have the cost. Now if you want to allow specific origins to have access to this route, you can enable the cost, but we'll be not looking towards that. Okay, so this is the JSON data that we're extracting, and what we can do is we can destructure the properties of JSON data. Like we can have the name property, the username property, the email property, and the password property. Okay, now What I will do is I will grab out some regex from my existing project. Okay, so I am having an existing project. Okay, so this is my existing project from where I will grab out my regex regular expression for username and email. Uh, Wait a second. Let me see. Okay, here I'm having these are two regex for username and email. Now I will check out if okay, first of all, let us create a success variable. Let success is equal to false. Okay. Now, if let us say if not of name, or let us say we are not going to validate name because that's optional. If not of username or not of email or not a password. Okay. So I think in the previous video, we had a typo in the profile part. Okay. So I want to fix that out first of all. So in the profile part, actually, you need to provide in this object kind of thingy. And inside that, you can have the address property. Okay. Type string and the and the phone property. Okay, so like this, you can create a nested schema. Actually, there is a error. Okay, I just figured it out. And this is how you can create nested object schemas. This is type string. Okay, so okay, now this is type string. Okay, let us close that. And here, what I will do is I will write here, if not of username or not of email or not of password, return next response dot json. Next response dot json will send a message that hey, uh, all the fields are required. Okay, all the fields are required, and we can state a status code of 400 bad request. Okay, else what you can do is else if let us just bring in the regex regular expressions. Else if username regex dot test username. Okay, if that fails, what we can do is we can send in the success, and the message will be like username must contain alphanumeric characters. Okay, alphanumeric characters, and then what can I do is else if email regex not of email regex dot test email. Okay, not of email regex dot test email. Now invalid email address. Okay, invalid email address. Else what we can do is we have to check for the existing user. So let user is equal to await user model dot find one. Okay, find one will provide dollar, or we can find the user by either the username or the email, whichever has been provided. So we need to import user model, I think. Okay, so now if user, if the user exists, so return another next response user already username or email already taken. Okay. Else what you can do is user is equal to await user. Okay. Or let us say new user model. And here what I will do is I'll pass in the arguments that are I can just go ahead and spread out everything from underscore JSON data. Okay. But what I will do is I'll just show you like how we can pass in the data. Okay, so underscore JSON data, we extracting the key, the value from the key. Okay, then username, email, and password. Okay, so I'll be telling you about password hashing in the next video. But for this video only, what we'll do is just send a 201 response, 201, and user account has been created. Okay, user account has been created. And if I will save that, and what I will do is I will go to my Postman extension and create a new request to a new HTTP request, HTTP to slash API slash sign up. Okay, slash API, I think slash API slash sign up. Yeah, so I will send a body that is in JSON format. Now, if I'll try to send only username, if I'll try to send only username, 405 method not allowed. Okay, so I have to send a post request. Now success false, all the fields are required. Then what can I do is I can send my email. Okay, so I can just send in this particular only string of alphabets. Sorry, string of alphabets. Okay, password, send it. Now invalid email address. Now I have to include @yahoo.com. Now this is not my actual email. Okay, it might be so any other user's email. Now I have written the user. See what happens. Why it's not giving me any response? Oh wait. Okay. Wait a second. Oh wait. User.save. User.save. Okay, so I have not actually called the user.save. Uh, I have to actually call the user.save. Okay, now if I'll send the response, why it's hanging on? Okay. Uh, JSON data. Let me see what's I don't know. Users dot find one. Okay, so I understood what is the mistake that I've done is actually I have to call in the connect DB here. Okay, I was actually not connecting to the database and just calling in the user. Okay, now success false, user account has been created. What happened? Okay, so I have to make the success variable the success equals to true because we don't need the success false. If I'll send it again, you will see this is sending me success false, username or email already taken. Now, if I'll go ahead to my MongoDB Compass and check out this localhost 27017. Now, let me tell you, I have changed the password of my MongoDB cluster database. Now you can see this is the document that we are talking about. Now, now you can see we are storing the password in a plain text, uh, which can be a threat to our security. So what I will do is I will go inside user model and define one. And what I'll do is I'll write here user schema. Let us go ahead. Right here user schema dot pre save. And what this will do is it will run this function each and every time we save the user. Okay, but what is the catch is I don't want to reset. I don't want to change the hash of the user's password each and every time we if we'll update the name or if we'll update the address details or the profile details. I don't want the password hash to change. So I'll write here if none of this dot is modified. If we are not modifying the password, just return next. Okay, else what we'll do is const let's say this dot hash, this dot password is equal to, I think I had installed the bcrypt module. No, I had not added in the bcrypt module. So let me just go ahead and write up npm add bcrypt js. Okay, now import bcrypt from bcrypt.js, and what I will do is now this dot password. No, I don't want any fixations. Uh, I don't want. I accidentally clicked on the fixations. Okay, so by GitHub Copilot, apologies. Now await this dot, not this dot, actually decrypt dot hash this dot password, and we'll have a salt round of 12. Okay, now this will generate the hash of the password every time we'll save the user, and if the user is not modifying the password, we'll be not doing anything. Okay, or else what I'll do is I'm just setting the password, okay, as the bcrypt.hash this dot password and salt round at 12. Now let us just delete the user. Let us just delete the user and send in the response again. And if I reload, you can see we are getting this hash. Now hash is actually one way. Now you can reach the hash from the password. Like if you're entering the password, you can reach the hash. But if you're entering the hash, you cannot enter the password. Okay, it's only one way communication. If you're entering the hash, you can get, if you're entering the password, you can get the hash. But if you're entering the hash, you cannot get the password. There is no way of decoding. And never ever try to send a hash or passwords using get request on your client side form. That is a huge threat to your security. Okay, so we have successfully implemented the sign up API, and let me just push in the code like video 4 completed. Okay, commit, and let me go to my GitHub desktop. Okay, and after going to my GitHub desktop, I'll just push the changes to origin. And if you want to access the code, you can access the code for free on GitHub. Okay, so this is the next authentication repo. And if you'll see, if you want commit wise codes, you can click on this 4 commits and you'll get the commit wise code. Now, yesterday only I completed 2 videos. Today also I completed 2 videos, and all the videos have been scheduled. Okay, now if you'll browse in the src, you'll find the like video code completed. Okay, api slash sign up, this is the route.js. And thank you so much guys for watching this video, and I will see you next time.